Are you feeling stuck in your current job role? You don't feel motivation and inspiration when you go to your job. There is no job satisfaction at all in your current job role. You think about switching your job role again and again. If you are facing these issues, let's try to solve them in today's career counseling session video for you.
My name is Anmol. I'm a mental health practitioner, counselor, psychologist, career coach, life coach, and life skills trainer. I'm here to share my insights and learnings with you to tackle life challenges and attain your highest potential. Let's create balance in your life.
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to my channel Ask Life with Anmol, where we talk about creating balance in your life and some psychology based principles. In today's video, we'll be discussing about why people feel motivated in their job role and why are they facing stress at workplace. Today's workplace has become very different from the past. Today, any average person in India is working 9 to 12 hours a day. That is more than 70 hours of work week. So when we are spending that much amount of time at workplace, our emotional health, our physical health, our mental health, and our relationships are being impacted by the workplace. So that's why it is very important. If you feel happy at workplace, if you feel passionate about workplace, you can create a balance in different areas of your life. So stay till the end because we will be sharing a psychologically tested tool for you where you can check whether you are in the right job role or not, and if it is not right, how to switch your job role. So let's get started. I hope you are aware about the recent death of an employee of the Big Four company because of the work stress. Her mother gave a letter to the chairman of that particular company related to the stressors that her daughter was going through. Many other employees are facing toxic work culture, micromanagement at workplace. So what has happened in the recent years? If you talk to your parents, if you talk to the people who are working in the past, you see their only motivation that they were working was money because they had to feed the family. But today's generation, if you talk about millennial population, people born after 1980, and Gen Z population, people born after 1997, money is just one part of it. They want to have a workplace which is creative. They feel valued. There is no toxic culture. The emphasis is based on their physical and mental health, where they can create a better life for themselves, where there is flexibility. So if you see, the motivation to do work has changed from the past to the current population of Gen Z and millennial. Let me give you a survey report which was done for 5,350 professional, and some of the data points were that many people preferred work-life balance over salary. 47% of the people were planning to leave the job within 2 years. 51% expressing fear of job loss at present. 40% worry about securing positions in their preferred fields. 77% of the respondents prioritize the role over the brand. 43% specifically seeking hands-on experience and growth opportunities, while 72% consider job satisfaction as more important than the salary. In reality, only 25% of people prioritize money as their main motivation while switching the jobs. Another statistic was that 47% of them citing as the key element of evaluating the potential employee. So work-life balance is more important because the current generation is seeking more than just money at workplace. 44% people prefer culture and how is their supervisor or leader. So current population is teaching the companies that work should be a part of life and not the other way around. So these are some statistics which tells us that it is not just about money when we do a particular job. Then what are the key factors which are important for a person to feel satisfied and motivated? So now we will discuss the model which will help you identify Why don't you feel motivated or inspired at your job role? This model was created by organizational psychologists named Hackman and Holdham, and it is also called job characteristic model. They said that if a person is satisfying these 5 characteristics, which I'll discuss in this model, the person will feel motivated and effective in their job role. So let's try to find out what are these characteristics. The first characteristic is skill variety. Skill variety is the degree to which the job requires a variety of different skills and abilities at workplace. So if a person is applying 2 to 3 skills at the job role, they might feel less motivated in comparison to a person who is applying their 4 to 5 skills. Skills can be divided into task oriented and people oriented. So if a person is applying both the people oriented and task oriented skills, then the skill variety is satisfied. So that is our first characteristic. Second characteristic is task identity, the degree to which the job requires completion of a whole identifiable piece of work. For example, I am aware that how my job role is structured in the organization, how my work is impacting the bigger projects of the organization. For example, what happens in big MNCs that if I divide the work into alphabetical order from A to Z, and let's say A to B is done by one department, C to D is done by different departments. So A to B people are not aware what is the bigger picture, what is A to Z, right? So in that particular field, they will feel demotivated. Task identity is low. While on the other hand, if a manager tells them that your work is impacting the organization in such a way, then they will feel motivated. Then they will give task identity to the workplace. So for example, as a brand manager of a company, I should be aware about how the ads are working, what are the creatives are working, and what is the performance. I know the performance matrix also of that particular campaign. So that is how a brand manager knows that what is their task identity. The third factor we have is called task significance. Task significance is the degree to which the job has a substantial impact of people within the organization or outside the organization. For example, an HR professional impacts people in the organization. A sales professional not only impacts people within the organization by generating the revenue, but they also impact people outside the organization in terms of clients and customers. So their task significance is high. A social worker, a psychologist, they are impacting people within the organization also and society at large. So task significance tells you higher the number of people you are impacting with your job role, more motivated you will feel. Fourth factor is known as autonomy. Autonomy means the degree to which the job provides the worker with substantial freedom, independence and discretion in scheduling the work that they are doing. So you have the independence, what you want to do, whenever you want to do. Just opposite to this is micromanagement, which is becoming very popular nowadays. Micromanagement is when your boss or manager is asking you, poking you for work every 15 minutes, every half an hour. They ask you for updates on the presentations, on the sheets, of the work that they have given you. That's called micromanagement, which creates frustration in employees. So try to find out at your workplace whether you are getting micromanagement or autonomy. Last factor is called feedback. All of us wants to grow in our life, and growth can only come when we know what is our path, whether we are going in the right path or not. So if your manager tells you, okay, that you are doing good, this is the path you should take, or manager is telling you that, okay, you should change your path, it will be more effective. That's called feedback. So feedback is the degree to which carrying out the work activities required for the particular job role results in the employee receiving clear and direct information based upon their performance. So see, these were the 5 factors which are there in the job characteristic model. Now let's use this job characteristic model and a psychological tool to help you how many factors out of these 5 are there in the job role, which will help you to identify whether you should stick in the role or whether you should do a switch. I want you to carry yourself a pen and a notebook for this psychology tool to understand what characteristics are satisfied in your job role. You can pause the video if you want. We'll be showing some questions related to this job role. So we will show you the characteristic and the questions. You just have to answer these questions in yes or no. That's it. So your answer sheet would look like one yes, why, or one no. And you can write down the characteristic for these questions. First question, and the job characteristic is skill variety. Does your job require you to use wide range of skills and knowledge? Yes or no. So just write on one yes or no. Second question, do you frequently need to perform tasks that require different talents and abilities? Yes or no. Does your job challenge you to learn new skills and approaches regularly? Yes or no. So these three were the questions of skill variety. Second, task identity. Fourth question, are you responsible for completing an entire piece of work from start to finish? Yes or no. Fifth question, do you feel a sense of accomplishment when you complete a task or project? Yes or no. Sixth question, do you see the final product or results of your work after you have completed it? Yes or no. Third characteristic, task significance. Seventh question, do you believe that your work has a meaningful impact on others? Yes or no. Eighth question, does your job directly contribute to the success or well-being of your organization or society? Yes or no. Ninth, do you feel that the work you do is important for other people or community? Yes or no. Fourth characteristic, autonomy. 10th question, do you have the freedom to decide how you perform your tasks? Yes or no. 11th question, are you able to set your own work schedule and pace? Yes or no. 12th question, do you feel you have the authority to make decisions on how to carry out your work? Yes or no. Last parameter, feedback. 13th question, do you regularly receive feedback on your performance from your supervisor or colleagues? Yes or no. 14th question, do you know how well you are performing your job through clear and direct feedback? Yes or no. 15th question, are you able to easily assess the quality of your own work based on the results you produce? Yes or no. So you can go through the questions again if you missed any of the questions. You can pause the video if you want. Now what you have to do is, for scoring, let's go to the scoring. What you have to do, for yes you have to give 1 point, and for no you have to give 0 points. So for each section, all the 5 sections, you have to find out your score based upon your scoring 1 for yes and no for 0. So get the section score and get a score of total. Calculating 1 to 15 questions, what scores are you getting? For example, 1 if you have given yes, so 1 point will be there. 2 you have given 0, so 0. So like that 1 plus 0 plus 1, accordingly you will be answering your questions and getting the score out of it. So you will get the score first for individual parameters, skill variety, task identity, and second you will be getting the total score. Now after you have done the scoring, let's move to the interpretation. What interpretation you have to do for each parameter, right? So from 1 to 3 questions, if the score that you are getting is 3 points, that means satisfied. If you are getting a score of 0 and 1, it is unsatisfied. So just write down skill variety, satisfied, unsatisfied. Satisfied is 3 points, unsatisfied is 0 to 1 point. Task identity again, 3 points is satisfied, 0 to 1 is unsatisfied. Again task significance, check how many points you are getting, 3 points satisfied, 0 to 1 unsatisfied. Fourth point, autonomy, 3 points if you are scoring, satisfied, 0 to 1 unsatisfied. And lastly feedback, if you are getting 3 points it is satisfied, 0 to 1 it is unsatisfied. So try to find out now how many parameters are satisfied. If you are getting 3 points, that is satisfied, very good. If it is 0 to 1 marks, then it is unsatisfied. Now let's do the overall interpretation. 13 to 15 marks if you are getting overall from 1 to 15 questions, your job is highly engaging and you are motivated in your job role. So congratulations for that. 9 to 12 points, your job has several motivation factors, though there might be some areas which we can look up to and you don't have to switch your job. You can talk to your manager. If it is 5 to 8 points, that is a red signal for you that motivating factors are less in your job role and you should consider a switch. There are several areas of improvement if you're getting 5 to 8 points. And lastly, 0 to 4 point means that this job is not the right fit for you. You should immediately look for a switch in your job role. So I hope you understood the interpretation. If again you are satisfying more than 3 factors, this job is right for you, and if you are getting 13 to 15 or 9 to 12 points. But if you are satisfying only 1 or 2 of the characteristics are satisfied and you are getting 5 to 8 points or 0 to 4 points, then that's a red signal for you. That is the right time you should switch your job role. I hope this video helped you get an insight about whether you should stick to your job role or you should have a switch using the tool that we discussed. Like this video, share this video with your friends and family members who are looking for a switch or they are demotivated or uninspired about their career or job role. Subscribe to my channel Ask Life with Anmol to create balance in your life. Keep growing.